What goes around comes around. He threw his wife out because she was poor. 2 years later, she was the only surgeon who could save his son's life. By the time he realized what he had lost, it was already too late. Before we begin, please subscribe to this channel for more emotional African folktales based on realistic events. Now, let's begin. My name is Chinedu, and this happened in the town where I grew up. People still talk about this story today because nobody expected it to end the way it did. The man was called Victor. His first wife was Grace. Grace was one of the kindest women I have ever known. She respected everyone. She worked hard. She never spoke badly about people. Victor was a businessman with a small electronics shop. Grace helped him from the beginning. She woke up early every day, cleaned the shop, kept the records, and encouraged him whenever business was slow. They were not rich, but they were happy. At least, Grace believed they were. Everything changed when Victor became friends with a wealthy businessman named Chief Benson. Chief Benson had only one daughter. Her name was Anita. She lived a life of luxury, expensive cars, big house, designer clothes. People in town admired her because of her father's wealth. Victor slowly changed. He began spending more time with Anita and her father. He stopped coming home early whenever Grace asked where he had been. He became angry. One evening, I heard them arguing. Victor shouted, "You are holding me back." Grace looked confused. "What have I done?" "You have done nothing," Victor replied. "That is the problem. You have no money, no connections, no rich family. I am tired of struggling." Grace stood there in silence. She could not believe what she was hearing. A few weeks later, Victor asked for a divorce. Grace begged him to think again. She reminded him of everything they had built together. He refused to listen.
He packed her clothes into 2 old bags and threw them outside. "I deserve a better life," he said. "You are useless to me." I still remember Grace picking up her bags with tears running down her face. She did not fight. She did not insult him. She quietly walked away. Most people believed her life was over. They were wrong. Grace moved to another city and stayed with an elderly aunt. Instead of giving up, she returned to school she had always dreamed of. Becoming a doctor before poverty forced her to stop her education, her aunt encouraged her. She studied day and night. She worked part-time to pay her fees. She hardly slept. Years of hard work finally paid off. She graduated from medical school. Then she completed her specialist training and became a surgeon at one of the biggest hospitals in the state. Meanwhile, Victor married Anita in a grand wedding. The whole town attended. People admired the expensive decorations. Luxury cars filled the streets. Victor smiled proudly. He believed he had made the best decision of his life, but after the wedding, things slowly changed. Anita was nothing like Grace. She never helped with the business. She spent money carelessly. She wanted expensive vacations, designer handbags, and luxury furniture. Whenever business became slow, she blamed Victor. Arguments became common. Still, Victor stayed because he wanted the rich lifestyle. A year later, they had a baby boy named Daniel. Victor loved the boy more than anything. Daniel became the center of his world. Then one afternoon, everything changed. Daniel suddenly became very sick. He had a rare condition that required emergency surgery. The local hospital could not handle the operation. Doctors quickly referred him to a specialist hospital in the city. Victor and Anita rushed there with their son. After several tests, the chief medical director entered the waiting room. "There is good news," he said. "We have one of the best surgeons in the country." Victor sighed with relief. "Please call the doctor. We will pay anything." The doctor walked into the room. Victor looked up. His face turned white. It was Grace, the woman he had called useless. She stood there wearing a white doctor's coat. She looked calm, professional, confident. Grace looked at Victor for a few seconds. Then she turned her attention to Daniel. "This child needs surgery immediately," she said. "There is no time to waste." Victor could barely speak. "Grace," she interrupted him. "This is not the time. My duty is to save your son." Victor lowered his head. For the first time, he understood what he had thrown away. As nurses prepared the operating room, Anita became angry. She pulled Victor aside. "You want your ex-wife to operate on our son? We should find another doctor." The chief medical director shook his head. "There isn't enough time." She is your son's best chance. Grace quietly washed her hands and prepared for surgery. Just as she was about to enter the operating room, Anita lost control. She believed Grace would take Victor back after saving the boy. In a moment of anger, she picked up a heavy metal stand from the hallway and struck Grace's right hand. The sound echoed through the hospital. Grace cried out in pain. Doctors and nurses rushed toward her. Her hand was badly injured. An X-ray later confirmed it. Her wrist was broken. She could no longer perform the operation. The hospital immediately searched for another surgeon, but the nearest specialist was hours away. Daniel's condition became worse. Despite everyone's efforts, the little boy died before another surgeon could arrive. The hospital became silent. Victor fell to the floor crying. He held his son's small blanket in his hands. He blamed himself. He remembered every cruel word he had ever spoken to Grace. If he had never left her, if Anita had not attacked her, maybe Daniel would still be alive. The police arrested Anita inside the hospital. Several nurses and security cameras had witnessed everything. She was charged with assault. Her wealthy father tried to protect her, but the evidence was too strong. She was convicted. Her father's businesses also began facing serious financial problems after several investigations uncovered illegal activities. Within months, much of the family's wealth disappeared. Victor's own business collapsed. Without customers and buried in debt from medical bills and legal costs, he was forced to close his shop. The big house was sold. The luxury cars were taken by the bank. Friends who once surrounded him disappeared. He was left completely alone. One evening, I saw Victor sitting outside the old shop where he once worked. His clothes were old. His face looked tired. He watched people walk past without recognizing him. Then Grace happened to pass by after visiting our town for a medical outreach program. Victor stood up slowly. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "I destroyed my own life." Grace looked at him quietly. "I forgave you a long time ago," she said. "But forgiveness cannot change what has already happened." She wished him well and continued walking. Victor watched her disappear down the road. He never saw her again. Today, Grace is known across the country as one of the best surgeons in her field. She has saved hundreds of lives. Victor lives a simple life, working small jobs to survive. Whenever people ask what happened to him, the older people in our town simply shake their heads. His story reminds us that some choices cannot be undone. Sometimes people throw away those who truly love them because they believe something better is waiting. But money can disappear, beauty can fade, power can be lost. Good character is much harder to find, and that is why, whenever I remember Victor and Grace, only one saying comes to my mind.
What goes around always comes around. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more emotional African folktales based on realistic events. See you in the next story.